How you doing, everyone? It's Priyon Joni, and today we're going to talk about a frequently asked question. Which hand am I supposed to scratch with? Is it dominant hand on the crossfader or dominant hand on the jogwheel? Now, I want to preface this discussion as I don't think there's a specific right or wrong way. I have seen people achieve results with either way. But I am going to share with you my anecdotal experience as to what I believe helped me learn to scratch faster. So let's find out. Is it dominant hand on the crossfader or on the jogwheel? But first, a message from our sponsor, Direct Music Service. DMS is an online database for working DJs and mix artists. It's the one-stop shop where you can get your music from for your gigs. It's a searchable, organized database with thousands of edits, remixes, and different versions of your favorite tracks from many different genres. You can now save some money and get a discount using one of these two coupon codes. Use the code PJMonthly and get 30% off your first month off any monthly subscription. Use the coupon code PJYearly and get 10% off your entire first year of any yearly subscription. Go to directmusicservice.com today to sign up. So back in the mid to late 90s when I started scratching, the internet was just starting to be a thing where people put information about DJing and scratching on. And I don't remember what the source was, but I learned from one of these tutorials that the fastest way to learn how to do advanced scratching was to actually go against the natural tendency to want your dominant hand on the jogwheel, rather put your dominant hand on the crossfader. I am left-handed, and that's why I scratch to my right. Now, if it's your first time scratching, the tendency is to want to put your dominant hand on the jogwheel. And what I see tends to happen is a lot of people are putting more power on their jogwheel movement, but they're not putting a lot of power on the crossfader, and it ends up that some folks don't actually learn how to do advanced scratches, like transformers or orbits. When I do dominant hand on the jogwheel, the only real scratch I can do is a few chirps and forwards, which I can basically do a Joe Cooley on. But when I try to do a transformer, really slow. Let's see if I can do an orbit. Ah. It's so different from when I have dominant hand on the crossfader. Now, being a lefty, there was a few odd things that happened throughout my life that kind of hid the fact that I'm a lefty. For example, when I was 3 years old and I would draw pictures, my mom would repeatedly tell me to write with your right hand, to draw with your right hand. So when you see me write, I'm actually a righty. And I didn't know I was left-handed until I realized that I prefer to throw a ball with my left. When I played basketball, I know, weird, I used to play sports, I would do layups with my left hand. When I go bowling, I prefer to bowl with my left hand. Now, for those of you who've seen me play guitar, I actually play as a right-handed person, which is left hand on the fretboard and right hand strumming. One of my former guitar teachers, Nathan Montgomery, who's actually an ambidextrous guitar player, plays both ways and can play a left-handed guitar right-handedly and vice versa. He told me that I had an advantage having my dominant hand on the fretboard because I could do more hammer-ons and pull-offs because my dominant hand was controlling the strings. Because I played right-handed guitar, it further helped and conditioned my hand for scratching to my right. So whenever I tell people to fight your dominant hand onto the platter and your weaker hand on the crossfader, and what ends up happening is people find it kind of weird to scratch that way because you're basically fighting your natural tendency. And then they go back to what they feel was a more natural way to scratch, and then they don't end up actually learning how to scratch. Now, like I said, this isn't everybody. There are many exceptions, but this is where I did notice some people give up because they just can't advance that weaker hand on the crossfader. So if you're learning how to scratch and you're not sure if putting your dominant hand on the crossfader is a good idea, here's something else to consider. Practice every day for 2 straight months, and I mean every single day that you can. When I was 15 years old and I was trying to break that habit, 1 month later, I realized that's when both sides started to feel natural. And then 2 months later was when I realized that it was so much better to scratch with your dominant hand on the fader. A lot of people I asked that usually end up giving up, they said that they only tried it for a few hours or a few days. I challenge you to try it for 2 months with practicing at least once a day, 15 to 30 minutes. Because take it from me, with my dominant hand on the crossfader, I'm able to do advanced scratches pretty easily. It's gonna take time, but I honestly believe, in my opinion, that it will be a lot faster than trying to learn with your dominant hand on the jogwheel. So if you're right-handed, you naturally might want to scratch this way. Take your dominant hand, put it on the crossfader, and practice this way. If you're left-handed and your natural tendency is to scratch this way, take your dominant hand, put it on the crossfader, and practice this way. Practice once a day for 2 months for 15 to 30 minutes. And let me know what are the results. Now, I ran a poll on my YouTube asking, Scratch DJs, which way do you scratch? Dominant hand on the crossfader or dominant hand on the jogwheel? 59%, nearly 60%, said dominant hand on the jogwheel. 41% said dominant hand on the crossfader. Now, there was nearly 1,000 people who voted, 946, but there's no way for me to tell in that poll how good everybody actually scratches. And like I said, I do know a few people who can do advanced scratching going with the initially natural configuration of dominant hand on the jog or the platter. So let me know what you think in the comments section below. If you're an advanced scratcher or if you're intermediate or a beginner, which hand do you scratch with? Dominant on crossfader or dominant on the platter or jogwheel? I really would love to hear your thoughts, answer any questions you might have, or learn anything new that I didn't cover in this video. All right, well, if you like this video, please smash that like button. And if it's your first time here and you found this video useful, please click that subscribe button and don't forget to click that little bell icon so you get a notification the next time I upload a video. If you like the gear that I'm using a DJM S11 Special Edition with 2 CDJ 3000s with Rekordbox DJ software. If you're looking to pick any of these up or any other DJ gear, be sure to use the links that I'm going to leave below from Zounds. Zounds has one of the best payment plan programs online, and it's one of the easiest to qualify for. So if you want to pick these up today, be sure to use the link from Zounds. Don't forget to add me on Twitch where I do my live stream mix shows. I like to mix and match the DJ gear that we discuss here on YouTube so you can see it live in action, all on my Twitch channel. All right, really appreciate you for watching. Thanks, take care, and stay healthy.